lost to our rivals, and they expect whenever they go on the field to win a ball game. And what's great about that is you guys expect that as well, because you all are champions as well. You've won your conference for 2 consecutive years. You've beat East Carter, which we love. So we're excited. It's a great time for you to come in and play high school football. Okay, guys, in your handout, we'll go through some things really quickly. As far as our team rules, what you're looking for there, from your handout, basically what we're looking at, we have six big rules that we're going to try to focus on, and we believe if everybody follows that, we're going to have a good football team and no problems. Basically, we expect you to be early's on time. Be responsible. That's not just with the team, that's at school and at home. You have to be here, okay? And we've had that conversation. We've been having individual meetings with all of our returning players, and that's one thing that we've really focused on. Attendance is important. If you're not here, you're missing out. You're falling behind. Behave at all times. Treat your coaches, parents, teachers, and teammates with respect. And then hustle. That's the expectation. All right, as hard as you can go. Okay, we had this. This is something that we continued on. Last year, Coach Brown was big on this. He was really big on acronyms and things like that if you went in his classroom. But he spelled out comments as far as our player expectations. You had commitment, on time, mental toughness, enthusiasm, team. And then the last one there is a little cut off is scholastic. You have to be a good student. Guys, we did want parents to show up here because this does serve as a parent meeting for you too. If we're looking at the role of a parent, and your packet has a lot of information on this. As a parent, your role will be to support your son. Things that we're looking for there. You want your child to enjoy playing sports. We have something at West Carter High School called the 24-hour rule, which is how long you're supposed to wait after a game to talk to a coach. I mean, that's a school policy. So you want to be there to support them, be positive. You may not always like the position your child plays or how they play or who plays when, but you have to support them because ultimately I believe that parents are very influential on how their child feels about a particular sport or school or any activity. So we're asking for your support. Judging off dealing with you guys in JFL and then seeing you in middle school, I feel like this grade has a great group of parents. So I want to thank you all for that. You've all been very supportive. Okay, we've also placed the varsity schedule in there in your packet. Also, which is just a reverse of our varsity schedule from last year. I did want to highlight our JV schedule though. Last year, due to some weather and some scheduling issues, we didn't play very many JV games. We've got 8 scheduled right now, and then there will be a 9th. With Morgan County, we just don't have a date. So the way that we will do JV this year, because of our roster size, it'll be freshmen and sophomores only. And whenever we play people, we're playing freshmen and sophomores. Okay? So they'll play kids their age. Last year, I feel like our JV team went, and it was almost all freshmen, and we played juniors. And that's not fun. So anybody that I've talked to, I've told them exactly what we're bringing, and that's what they'll bring. So we'll be playing kids our age, which is pretty good because I feel like our incoming freshman class and our sophomore class are pretty good. So it'll be good and competitive. Okay, I wanted to bring up Coach Thomas Flannery. He's going to highlight some of the offensive changes this year. This is probably one of the biggest changes that people may or may not notice this year. But anyway, this year we became a Tony Franklin client, and he will tell you a little bit about that.
I'll try not to bore you guys with, maybe scheme or X's and O's and all of that. But I'll just go ahead and read verbatim what I'm thinking, and it'll probably help me flow a little better. My motto is going to be fast, fight, finish, family. And that's how I want to play football. I want to play fast. Okay, we're going to fight, and we're always going to finish, and we're going to do that together as a family. I think this will be good for our kids because it's a spread system, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. If that's over your head as a parent, that's okay. I'll talk to you about it. Your kids are probably going to tell you all about it. But the reason why it's good is it's not one-dimensional. We're not just going to try to feature one particular kid or player. It's my goal to spread the football around. And with that, I want to use different personnel packages, which basically means I'm going to try to do what your kid can do. Okay? I don't want to say this is what I want, and then when your kids get to high school, they can't do what I need them to do. I'm going to try to do what suits them the best. So in this is what I want is total buy-in, and I've talked to the kids about it because this is something I believe in very passionately, and if I don't believe in it, it's hard for me to get the rest of my staff to believe in it, and then definitely if I don't believe in it, I can't get the kids to believe in it. And if we're all out there trying to do something together, it takes 11 different things to go right for one football play to work. Okay, it's different than any other sport. Basketball player can score 40 and they can win, but you can't score a touchdown without somebody blocking for you, right, Blake? Okay, so that's we have a long road ahead of where we want to be, and by that I think we have aspirations of winning championships, whether it be a regional championship or state championship. Talking to an 8th grade group, if we get some things worked out in our district alignment, there's no doubt in my mind we can win a regional championship. But with that being said, I'm going to be hard on you, and I've dealt with this group before. But saying that, I got your kids back too. Okay, I'm going to be hard on them, but at the same time, no matter what, on or off the field, I have their back. Okay, so fast, fight, finish, and family. Okay. Any questions? Just holler at me. I'm always around.
All right, team camp. That's one of the things I want to make sure that we have enough time to address. Like I said, parents always ask, and like even last year, I can remember getting text from parents or players, and they'd ask about camp. They're always scared about it, but players in the back, camp, good, bad. What would you say? It's amazing. It's amazing, right? I mean, come on, Randy. All right. Anyway, don't be scared of that. That will be one of your favorite memories from high school. All right. And I'm not just talking about football. I'm talking about in general. Okay. We will have a great time. We do practice a lot. Usually we'll practice 3 times a day, but we make up for that. We feed you 3 big meals a day. In the past, we've gone to different universities. We went to whenever we all played, we went to Georgetown, and then. Before last year went to Moorhead, and last year we went to KCU. This year we'll probably host it on campus, and the reason that we'll do that is that really KCU doesn't have the facilities to truly have a camp. It ended up being they don't have lights on their turf. We might have only got 2 practices in that day. We might have had to practice when it was super hot or whatever. If we're at home, we can control when we practice. Okay, because we're the only people on the field. Also, if we're at home, we can save you money. It did cost $125 per player to go to camp. I've got 75 on there. We'll figure that out. That's probably the highest, the high range on that. It may not truly cost that much money for camp, but we will have to pay for the players' food, and then there's some activities we're going to do there. I think we're going to convert the gym into a movie theater and all kinds of good stuff. But don't be afraid of that. You will love it. Every freshman's scared going to camp, and then like on the first night they're like, "This is awesome." Okay, you'll have a blast. Here's some pictures from camp. Okay, one of the last things I wanted to highlight before we start signing is weightlifting, and I'm going to bring Coach G up here. Like I said, he's doing a tremendous job in the weight room. He's going to talk to you a little bit about that, and then we'll start bringing players over. We'll sign, and then we'll eat some pizza.
It seems like we get a lot of questions about our weightlifting whenever kids first start doing it, because most time this is the first time that they will be lifting. So I want to emphasize some things that we're going to do with them when they walk in the door. So our first goal in our strength training program is to prepare your boys to lift, okay? We're not going to bring them in and just throw some weight on them and say go for it. We're actually going to take phases and steps to get them to where they need to be so that they can lift. We call this the General Physical Preparedness Program, and we have established this program as a gauge to determine a player's readiness to lift weight. So your sons will participate in this program and then will eventually test out of it. The program consists of mostly high reps and low weight, as well as several body weight exercises. We will focus on form and technique during this phase of your son's strength training and build the proper foundation that they need to ensure that they are ready to lift safely and effectively. When each player has tested out the General Physical Preparedness Program, we will then transition them to our standard varsity strength training program. And we take a lot of pride in our weightlifting, and we believe that it is the foundation of our program. Everything starts in the weight room. You know, you have football season's funny. It's 80% preparation, 20% actually playing the game. And weightlifting plays a major role in our on-field performance and overall health, as well as being proven to be the #1 energy prevention greatest factor against injury. Okay, so you know that's factors into how important it is, and we want you to buy into the program as well. Because if we have your sons in there, we can teach them the correct ways to do it, and then it will prove the results will be on the field. And our staff has bought into our lift program, but more importantly, the players have 100% bought in. And I would encourage you, in fact, to ask them what they think of it, because I know the answer will be 100% yes, we love it, and yes, we bought into it. The proof that our weightlift program is in the results. Last week, we took our team to Raceland, competing in their weightlifting competition. We competed against 8 other teams. Of those teams, there was a state runner-up last year in Class A in Kentucky. There was a state champion from Ohio, and several other larger schools than ourselves. But we won. It is our belief that gains and wins in the weight room will translate to wins on and off the field. So our staff and players believe that our strength training program will assist us in taking our program to the next level and the vision that we have for our future. And I encourage all of you, if you have questions, I'll be more than willing to sit down and talk with you about it, explain things to you that you may not understand. So please feel free to contact me at any time.
As there's some pictures. You guys, due to time constraints, there is a representative from our quarterback club here. My mom's here, so if you're a parent, if you could speak with her and Silas and Nora, or who knows where they're at right now. But anyway, they're probably, who knows. But anyway, she'll be back in here. What we're going to do now, we'll come up to the table. We'll go individually. I'll just call your name off. We'll have the player, and if your family's here with you, they can come up. We'll sign. If you look at the very first sheet in your packet, what we've created here is a letter of intent. And it is created in the exact template that you would sign as a high school senior if you were gonna go sign with Kentucky or Alabama or somebody like that, just like the national letter of intent.